Afternoon and evening, depends on where you are, and welcome to UkraineDating.tv, the world's first and only by donation video platform that is designed for Western men to meet Slavic women and win the hearts of Ukrainian women. Okay, well, I have a little bit of difficulty here because the video that I was supposed to play is not here. So, all right, let's just go with this video for now.
A lot of men right now act like women and they just want more. Bring back the patriarchy. I want to stay at home. I want to take care of my kids. What do you mean buy you flowers? What do you mean pay for dinner? What do you mean 50-50? What is that? I don't believe in that.
What do you want? What do you believe?
I want a man to take care of me.
So you want to be a housewife?
I want to be a housewife.
Okay.
Yeah.
The old traditional way?
Traditional. I'll do it. I don't mind. I'll do it. Fuck it.
All right. Let's say you meet the guy that does all that. Like he's willing to take you in, and you basically be the woman to take care of everything.
Yeah.
Now, does he got complete control over you? Like saying like, all right, delete your Instagram. You can't be dressing all slutty out on the streets.
Here's my thing. I'm not gonna be dressing all slutty and like having Instagram. If I found the one and he gives me everything I need, he doesn't even have to ask me for that. I already did it.
I like this one.
You'll delete it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Without him even having to ask.
What about he wants to every time?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. 100%.
Okay, well, yeah, okay. It was supposed to be a different video where basically the lady that was being interviewed saying that women should not be very comfortable spending, her man's money and learn to live within their needs. Basically, if the man cannot provide for you what you desire, then I guess you need to either learn to live within your needs, or I guess move on. But okay, like I mentioned before, just a lot of people, especially in modern dating, is just all transactional. It's about, well, what's he got, how much money he's got, and then he wants to know like, well, how beautiful she is, obviously, and it's what's become to the modern dating. But Ukrainian women still very traditional, and mm, like just judging from myself, I grew up in Ukraine. So, and when I was growing up, I was growing up in USSR, so everybody was equally poor. So um I mean, we learned to live within our needs, right? And what we couldn't afford, we couldn't. Like, what's the point of thinking about, oh, I can't afford this? Well, eventually, maybe one day, if we work hard, well, in the USSR, doesn't matter how hard you work, you weren't getting anywhere. So um it's it, guys, I always recommend, you sit down with a lady that you like, and you have a very deep conversation on what are her expectations, what are her boundaries, and you have to tell them your boundaries as well. Like, boundaries is number one thing that you have to set in the very beginning of the relationship. Don't wait, because if you slip one thing here, one thing there, and it's gonna be very hard to go back and fix it. So there's a saying in Russian: sit if you let the monkey sit on your shoulders, it's gonna get on your head and rip your hair out, basically. So, like, don't. Okay, let's see the comments. Okay, so hi, Santos. You changed the name. Are you the same Santos? And here's Dan. Hello, Dan. How are you guys? So anyway, so back to the original topic. Like I said, I personally believe that. Oh, sorry. That's Well, for the most part, I think, rich people like to stay, like to marry someone who's also wealthy, in the same they're in the same circles. It's a very, very rare it happens. Somebody's super rich, and then they find somebody, it's like, oh, this girl, some from a village. I mean, if like if you think about this, if I was a high value man and I had tons of money, I'd probably try and look for a good woman somewhere in the village, and obviously somewhere like not in the West. Let's put it that way. That's definitely not in the West. And again, I'm not saying all Western women are bad or not wife material. That's absolutely not true. But just even watching like videos an hour before, just getting ready and watching just videos on modern dating, it's become a little difficult for both men and women, and because it's lately in the last couple of decades, I should say, women have some very high standards where there's like, oh, he has to drive this and has to have that. He cannot take me to this restaurant, he has to take me to that restaurant, where they're basically cutting their options of meeting a good man who doesn't make like $300,000. Maybe he makes $40,000 a year. But if you think about this, if you're really good with budgeting, you can literally, two people can live on 40 grand if you budget properly, right? I mean, it's gonna be struggles here and there, but yeah, it depends on what are your goals in life, and then what are your priorities. If like to me, my priority, and I know a lot of Ukrainian women. Actually, we went out last night, I talked to some Ukrainian women at the clubs, and yeah, just talk about this kind of stuff too. And they're like, yeah, we just want someone who's a nice guy, like who's stable, who's not drinking, who's mentally stable, that just wants to have a healthy relationship. And I was even asking them, like, well, what do you expect? Like, do you have any expectations? They're like, no, I just want my man to be loyal, to be kind to me, to be kind to others, and loving, caring, and the rest, we can both work on it, right? So that's, and again, I'm not going to say all Ukrainian women. I've met Ukrainian, Russian women, like Eastern European women, that also spoiled rotten. I mean, it depends, I guess, on how you were brought up. So I am forever grateful that I grew up in Ukraine, because I'm pretty sure that if I had everything on a silver platter, I'd probably be entitled to. It's just people can't help themselves. There's not that many, and especially watching, and how you being raised. If you watch your parents act ghetto or whatever, always talking about, oh, I just need money. Look at this ring and this and that. It's just kids growing up watching their parents only care about the money instead of caring about health and the future, just spending time together and enjoying. Anyway, okay, so when the divorce rate is as high as in Ukraine, could you call it traditional? Well, like Sver, I told you, I did research, and yeah, it's actually actually higher than in US. Yes, but the thing about Ukraine sphere, that women, they're not willing to move in together and live together before the marriage. So if you want to move in with a girl, like you have to get married. Okay, that's just the bottom line, which I also think kind of a little. I mean, it's traditional, yes, but at the same time, it's different. You think you know somebody, because I've lived with the former partner, and it was 15 years, and I thought I knew him, but I guess I'm still finding out stuff that kind of shocking. So I'm glad I didn't get married. So I suggest to wait a little bit. I suggest move in together, live for a year, because it completely different dynamics when you move in with the person. You can your boyfriend or your girlfriend can come over and stay over and this and that, and even like stay for like weeks at a time, but they still have their own place. It's because if you get into a fight, she can go, you can leave to your place, right? And then figure things out later. Or but when you live together, together is completely different. So it's a different dynamic. So I do suggest for people to try it out once they start dating and things getting serious. I suggest to everyone try it out because, like I said, you think you know the person, and then it's completely something different that you didn't expect, and it's you already moved in, and it's like, oh, do I move out now? What do I do, right? So, and I know a lot of people. They were like a few couples actually I know of that also met love at first sight kind of thing, and then once they decided to, like, he proposed after like 5 months, and then they got married. They didn't move in together, they got married because they decided just to buy a house, so they sold their properties, they bought a house and then moved in together after they got married. Anyway, and from there it just all went down the hill, like it just no. And then like he didn't realize that she had the spending habit that was like they were not making, both of them were not making as much as she was spending, and it's just like, okay, well, she seemed like you know very, she was on a budget all the time, always. But then once they she wouldn't overspend, it was really. But then once they got married and then they joined bank accounts, he had a way more money than her, and then that's when she started you know spending it all. I heard some noise. I think it's, sorry, I think it's my neighbors. I'm not. Anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, let's see. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Like everyone in the world, I met some Ukrainian who were gold diggers, and I met some good ladies. Then, like I say that it's like I said, it depends on who, how you are raised, and I also know some people that have been, you know came, like, the parents were rich and they turned out to be pretty nice and decent people, but again, the parents, they made the money themselves from zero. So, and they were immigrants, first generation here, so they worked hard, and the kids saw how hard the parents worked, so they value um, value of dollar, value the value of dollar. Anyway, yeah. So, they knew the value of dollars. So again, I say, if the woman is very comfortable with spending your money and you're not even married, I think it's a red flag. And I don't think it's a red flag. I know it's a red flag. It's a complete red flag. I'm not gonna BS around the bush. It is what it is. Yes, some women, mm, they seem nice, at first, but always trust your instincts. Always do, because your gut is there for a reason, to tell you that, if you see red flags in the beginning or even throughout the relationship, pay attention, because no matter what, everybody they're gonna show you who they really are. It's a proven fact, they do. It's just sometimes we're so infatuated with the person, or we think we have like some kind of feelings that we just like, oh well, it's a red flag, but okay, I'll just let this one slide, and then, oh, it's just a little bit, that's nothing, it's nothing. But believe me, it all adds up, and it's a little bit here, a little bit there, but one drop here, one drop there, and there's a full bucket throughout time, and then these little things will become big things. It's inevitable, especially if you brush it under the carpet and just try to avoid the stuff. You always need to have a conversation. And like I said, if the woman is expecting you to take her on a fancy date, like to a five-star restaurant, if those are her demands, not even, you know, kindly asking you, but demanding that you should take her on the first date, or would like spend this much money, or you can't take her there because Starbucks, like a coffee date, is not good, then yeah, I'm telling you straight up, don't even bother. Don't even bother. I don't care where she comes from. She could be from Ukraine, she could be from freaking Venus. If you know, no. I'm just telling you straight up. No, if she has a problem with you taking her just to go to a coffee shop or a little pizza place where you can just buy one slice, um, yeah, I straight up telling you, don't, like. And believe me, people do show who they are. Who they are is just you need to pay attention. Always pay attention and set your boundaries. You know, uh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You have to tell what you expect of a woman if you start dating, and just be straight up. Yeah, it might hurt her feelings. If she really appreciates you and likes you, she shouldn't have a problem with you having boundaries, unless you have some serious issues, and then your boundaries, or your expectations are also kind of messed up, or out of this world. Yeah, then I definitely, she can walk away. It's her choice. But you have the same power of like walking away. Like, you're not obligated. Okay, she's cute, but if she's a gold digger, like, because that's the thing about the gold diggers, like, it's never enough. It's like men that drunk with power and money is the same thing. It's never enough. They always want better, younger women, better looking. Same with women that are gold diggers. They want someone next with a better car, then maybe they want somebody old with a boat, and then somebody with a private jet and stuff like this. It's like it's never enough. If your main goal is the only goal is money, you're doomed. Okay, because there's always a new phone, there's a better new car coming out, a better yacht coming out. It's always something new there. And if that's how you want to live your life, chasing something better every single day, mm, you're never going to be happy. Never. It's just impossible, you know Okay, let's see. Santos, yes, Santos. Okay, let's see. We're moving on. Then who are you talking? How old are those ladies? Which ladies? Kind of refresh my memory, Dan, please. Let's see. Hello, Jenny, and everyone listening. Hello, Kevin. You are new here and never met my name is Zhenya, by the way, for everyone that doesn't know me. I'm so used to just roll up on here and then expect, then I see familiar faces here, and I'm just like, everybody knows my name. So anyway, for the guys that don't know me, my name is Zhenya, and I am from Ukraine. I was born in, I was born in Russia, raised in Ukraine, lived there for 18 years, and now I live in Canada. I've been living in Canada for 25 years. So the reason why I'm doing this podcast, because I've seen both worlds, lived both worlds, and I mean, Ukraine has changed. I mean, look at what's going on right now, but people haven't really changed, to be honest with you. Okay, from my observations, the elder ladies get, the more reasonable their financial expectations become. Well, yes, then, because women when they're young, they're like, oh, shopping, you dangle some keys from a car, like fancy car. It's like, oh my God, he's got a Lamborghini, yay! Oh, I can buy me presents. Like when girls are young, yeah, they want to party, want to go dancing, girls' night out, and then spa, this, that. I mean, I don't know, never been to a spa before. Actually, no, I've been to massage and I've been to a saltwater float. That was cool. That was so awesome. Oh, it was wow. Anyway, but yeah, like once you grow older and get wiser, hopefully, because let's be honest, some people never grow out of stupidity. They're just born with it, and even though stupidity is a choice, but they just choose to stay stupid. But anyway, so what was I? Yeah, and let's move on. Okay, from yes. Okay. I want to marry Ukrainian woman. Okay, well, may try with us. Let's see. One of the main reasons for divorce in Ukraine is the money thing. That is one reason they look for a potential husband abroad from rich countries. Again, then not all. Do you know? Like, I know so many Ukrainian women that don't want to leave Ukraine. They would prefer, they want to be with the Ukrainian men, but frankly, right now the war is going on. There's a lot of Ukrainians that lost their lives protecting our country. I'm not gonna get into it, but a lot of women don't want to leave. They don't want to leave because do you really think, Dan? Like when I moved, I was so suicidal. I hated every second being here. I hated Canada. I hated everything. I didn't speak the language. I didn't have any friends. All my friends, my family stayed back there. You think it's easy to move to a new country where it's like you don't even speak the language? Especially like when I moved, I was still 17 years old, 2 months shy of being 18, and but I came here and I thought it would be easy, but it was not easy, and I didn't have, like, I just packed my suitcase and that was it, right? But imagine you being a grown woman, you have an you have a apartment or a house, maybe you have a little business or you have a good job, you have a car, you have your friends. This Do you think it's easy just to get up and leave, and then you're hoping that the person is going to be nice too, and how do you really know unless you live with them? So it's anxiety on both sides. I understand for a man to be like, okay, well, I put in so much money into this and so much effort, and she came and then nothing worked out. The same thing goes for a woman. She goes there, how does she know that everything is going to be okay? It's the same thing, but at least the guy stays in this country, in his home, and he still has his house or his car, his job. Or she sells everything. She literally gets rid of everything and then moves, and then it doesn't work out. What She doesn't have anything to go back to. Like, don't you think it's scary? I mean, to me, it's freaking scary if I just met somebody and online and moved. If it's, I don't know, like maybe within the country is one thing, but if you like, it's completely different life. It was a shock to me. It was a culture shock. It was everything shock, like fashion shock, everything. The weather. Oh my gosh! In here in Canada, even though right now it's pretty nice. Right now, still plus, what is it, like +10 already? But we here in Calgary we get snows, so that's the beauty of it. Anyway, let's see. Okay. So then sphere. Okay. Then Max, the cost of living is very low in Ukraine compared to rich countries, and that reflect the income. 100,000 in New York is basically paycheck to paycheck, but a millionaire in Ukraine, exactly, right? That's exactly my point. As my neighbor's dog. I hope she doesn't poop in my backyard again because there's going to be consequences. Anyway, let's see. I know, but still, you make more savings and surely higher living standard and quality. I don't know. Then, like, you think I'm not okay. Maybe now because there's a war going on, but before that, Ukraine was a beautiful country. Everything was cheap. People are friendly. You know, I had a few friends that actually went there and they loved it. They didn't even want to go back. Okay, before the war started because it is cheap, and like I said, people are super nice. The poorer the people, the nicer they are, honestly. But I guess I don't know. I guess to me it seems like people that have very little or nothing are the nicest people because once you get if you're once you're attached to material things, you set yourself up for life of misery. I remember me losing stuff and moves, and then my ex roommate stealing my stuff, and I was so heartbroken because it was so sentimental to me. And then it's just like I thought about it for years to come, and it was just really like I'm messing with my mental health. But then it's just like, okay, things. I can buy new things. That's fine. The most important thing, I keep saying that, is the health. Without health, you can have all the fancy stuff. You can have all the like all the money. If you can't walk, if you can't enjoy your life, you can't go on vacations. If you have to be hooked up to the machine, it's like doing dialysis every single day or some kind of stuff. It's You can't enjoy life. What are those millions are for? Like what can you do with it? Me personally, I can again. I said, to me, all I care about is paid my bills paid, food in the fridge, um, and my health is number one. Everything else is achievable. So, yeah, and I know a lot of Ukrainian women think the same way because they come from nothing really, they and believe me, once they meet a good man and the man loves them and not necessarily like financially all the time supports them, but like just there being a good husband, caring, loving, they'll be happy for the rest of their lives, like even I okay, so I even Joe and Anna. Joe is pretty successful in with his business, real estate business he has. And Anna, you should I when we went to see them a couple of times we hung out and even like her outfits. Okay, kind of like me. I shop and I don't know, like I buy things on sale or like made in China. It doesn't matter, as long as it looks good on me. Like I went again. I went to Winners, which is like TJ Maxx in US. Well, it's actually TJ Maxx, Canadian, right? It's all one part. And I got two gowns, like the holiday one is silver and long, $40, and one red with a big bow, $40. I don't have to spend $200-300 on a gown when I can just buy it at Winners. It looks good on me. I didn't overspend. Why? Again, it's how I was raised. I, I was always raised, you should marry for love. You should not. If you marry for and then when I was a child, I was like, oh, American. We would watch American movies and stuff, and it's like, oh, look at that! Like everybody's fancy. They have nice cars. And this and that. When I grow up, I'm gonna marry myself an American or an American boy. And Canada was not even in my mind at the time because America is known everywhere. So, but I was young. I was like very very young. I was like barely a teenager. I just and then growing up, just watching my grandparents, how much they were in love, and money was not an object in that relationship at all. They both worked, they both made good money, well, decent money, I guess, for USSR. So, and they lived happy because they had respect for each other, they had love, and they were just perfect. They were best friends, they were obviously husband and wife, and they were role models to me. Anyway, let's see what else. Yeah, okay, then. Okay, let's see then. With all my respect to Ukraine, the living standards there is considerably less compared to Western Europe. You're saying Canada as an example. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Yes, of course, Ukraine is not as advanced and not as prosperous. Like, well, I don't know. U.S. is deep in debt, trillions, but whatever. Who cares? But yeah, of course, in like Western Europe, yes, of course, especially like Scandinavia, those countries are dope. They're dope to live in. Um, yeah, some countries like healthcare is provided for, like even education is provided for. If you want to go study, is there, right? Yes, of course, Ukraine is not the same. But again, it's just the government, the people are nice though. Okay, let's see. Okay. Zhenya, is it acceptable, generally speaking, for Ukrainian ladies to contribute to a budget of a family, taking into consideration the difference in level of income? Yes, of course. Okay. So then my mom worked, my grandma worked. So I've always seen two income households. Like everybody worked in my family. My mom worked. She was an engineer. So she met my dad in university in in St. Petersburg and made a mistake. Yours truly. Anyway, so my grandma, my grandpa made more. He was a director of a stadium. He was making more, and it was always all the money was put together in the budget together. That was before it was bank banks. We had banks in Ukraine, so of course money was all put together, and my grandma was the one in charge of the budget. And don't think that she went and bought herself anything. No, she's very thrifty. Okay, she like to dress nice, but most of her clothes she made herself. Okay, she would buy material, make it herself. That's how she rolled. She was in charge to pay all the bills, buy all the food, cook all the food. Grandpa was in charge of taking care of the garden and all this kind of stuff. Well, cutting grass, kind of stuff. So it was, like most of the like housework was on my grandma, right? It's you know a man and a woman, they both have different roles in the relationship, right? A man can provide a house, a woman makes it into a home, you know. And I totally agree, especially nowadays. It doesn't matter where you really live, you really need two income household just to if well, for most people is to even just make ends meet, and for other people is to make life a little bit more comfortable, more enjoyable, where they can maybe go travel and stuff. And I don't see why it should be two income household for me anyway. And I mean, if the husband wants her to stay home and stay with the children, he has the means to provide, and he wants that. Because I know, like I know most Ukrainian men. That's how they want. If you pull out your wallet on a date, they'll be like, "Oh, why you want to disrespect me?" So but listen, we are evolving. Nowadays, like back in the day, maybe women, I don't know, like in Ukraine, in Russia, Ukraine, back in USSR, everybody could go and get a degree because it was free. So there's a lot of educated Ukrainian women there. So but yeah, I think it's totally normal. And also you have to understand, right? So if you, let's say you're a man, you're making more money than her, you can't expect her to put as much as you towards the bills, right? So you again sit down and have a conversation about it, right? If you do expect your woman to stay to be at home and do all the duties around the house, clean, cook, take care of kids, you have to understand that this is, yeah, she might do it out of love, but it's also hard work, right? For me, for example, if I had kids with my man, I would not want to work. Well, at least for the time while they're little, right? I wouldn't trust any strangers babysitting my kids, just wouldn't. And that would not be up for debate whatsoever, because I'm just a protective kind of person. And I'm looking what's happening in the world. The teachers, I don't, in the West, don't trust them with their freaking messed up, agenda these days. But again, you have to communicate. You have to sit down, like I said, in the beginning of the relationship, maybe not on the first date or like the first week, but once you guys start getting a little bit serious, maybe a few weeks, and you sit down and say, hey, well, what do you want out of life? What are your expectations? What are your boundaries? Again, like, you have to, and you have to set them in stone too. Like, if you don't want your wife or girlfriend go out with girls or like trips and stuff, well, I think it's bizarre. Like, I don't know, I would never go on a girls trip. I would not go on the trip without my man, no matter what it is. I just don't want to. But again, that's my personal choice. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, hello, Steen. Hi, how's Norway? Ooh, okay, then. And the ones you said you spoke with them at the club, and they told about their finance. You told about their expectations. It, listen, they yes. Listen, then of course every woman would, in ideal world, okay. Every woman's dream to be a freaking princess. So of course, let's say most women, okay. I learned my lesson that you have to be independent no matter what. Okay. First of all, I find it the men kind of turn on if a woman is independent, because then he'll know she doesn't really need him. If she wants to kick him to the curb, she will. She can. He won't be able to control her. And I personally think that every woman should have some, at least a part-time job, something. Okay. And even going out to like dinner, like first dinners, I say, like for me personally, back in the day when I was single and I was going on dates, I would never go to a restaurant if the guy wanted to take me to a fancy restaurant and I knew I couldn't afford anything at the restaurant. I would just say no, I can't go. And they'd be like, well, why can't you go? And I'm like, well, I can't afford anything. And they'll be like, well, you don't have to. I'm paying for everything. And I'd be like, well, yes, thanks, but why can't we just go for a coffee? Trying to impress me, but my first initial thought is like, well, why do you want to impress me on the first date? We barely even know each other, really. Well, why can't you impress me with conversation? Because to me, intelligence is number one for me, and kindness, of course, and loyalty. The rest, is in the end, right? Like I always say, if the apocalypse happens, what do you think is all that money gonna do for you? What? You can't even wipe your ass with it, to be honest with you, because it's not really, right? And without help, you can't even outrun zombies. I mean, hello. And this is my point. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do with all the diamonds and all the fancy stuff? It's nice to look at. I'd be going downtown for a walk and see a Ferrari. Okay, it's nice. Do I want it? No. Why? What for? For that Ferrari, you need to buy a garage. You have to keep it in, to make it that it's safe. That garage has to be attached to a house, and if it's a fancy car, you need a fancy garage. So it means a fancy, house. And then you need to get surveillance and this and security and blah blah blah. Is it really worth it? Like I said, yes, it's good to have nice things, but I also think the more money you have, the more problems you have anyway. Okay, because you really don't know who really loves you for you, especially when they know you got, like, I don't know, a mil in your account. You really don't know, especially new people, even the old people that were in your life. For half of them, if you win a lottery, you'll see who your real friends are, and all of a sudden, all the people are gonna be like kissing your ass anyway. So I don't know. To me, if you got a lot of money, don't flaunt it. And I know firsthand that people that actually do have money, they don't ever talk about it. It's always the broke ones that have a Gucci, Versace belt showing off this, that. But the credit is garbage. They're in debt, 50, 60, even $100,000, but there's a need to show off, which I find is pathetic, if you ask me. I don't know. I would never go for a guy like that. It's just it gives me an ick when broke asses that act like they're so rich, and that it's like, oh, good for you. Anyway, okay, so to do, let's see. If not the case, how many Ukrainian ladies got married to men from poor countries? Listen, then Okay, no, I understand. Like, well, um, why would you like? Don't you want to succeed in life and aim for something better? Well, first of all, poor countries. Okay, I'll tell you straight up, and no, I'm not gonna BS. Okay, those nationalities and ethnicities, Ukrainian women are not even attracted to. It doesn't matter if you have a lot of money, but if you're from those countries, okay, here we go. I'll tell the truth. Okay, so Ukrainian women are not attracted to Asian men and East Indian men. So it doesn't matter how much money you have. No, it just doesn't happen. Okay. Well, I mean, maybe it happens somewhere, but it's, I know that because I've lived it, and it's, you know, Ukrainian women tend to stick with white men for the most part. They, so that's the honest truth too. So of course there are exceptions as well, but that's what it is, right? So, and generally speaking, like the poorer countries are usually colored people, and it has nothing to do with the color. No, it's just not. There's no attraction. Okay, there's no attraction to, and you can take it as you like it or hate it, whatever. I really don't care, but that's the fact. And if you're not attracted to someone, you can't help it. So yeah, well, yes, and Ukrainian women attracted to Western men. It's just how it is. So, okay, let's see. Mhm. What is a poor country in Denmark? USA is the background. I know. How can it be rich? Oh my God, that's exactly what I was saying. Thank you. America is in debt, trillions in debt. I can't. I'm trying to comprehend how are they still sending millions and millions to Ukraine? Where are they getting the money from? But guess where they're getting it from? China. China owns US, so I don't even know what you're talking about. US, please. If you are like, do you then are you from US? Because I live next door and I know what's going on in US, and I really don't want to be there. If I was still in Ukraine, I would not move to. No, I don't know. I just it's insane what's happening in US. I wouldn't want to. Where did you got your Scandinavian countries fantasy from? You, talk, are you talking to me or okay? I don't know. I've been to Amsterdam, which is I was that was a very good experience. Even though I missed my flight, and then I had like 24 hours to kill. I didn't want to get a hotel, so I left my stuff in the locker, and I just walked around, ran into some strangers, and then they ended up keeping me company at the bar, and then it was just chilling, and people were super nice. I know, and it's nice. I like Amsterdam because we went for walks too, and it was very nice and clean, and people were all nice. I didn't know that US is big. Well, then get your facts straight first before talking about poor countries, because if anything, America is one of the poorer countries right now, and not even a joke. Like they are they're so in debt. Like anyway, I'm glad Trump won, so he probably, yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. See, this is exactly. I know it was three in trillions, but 35 trillion in debt. There you go. But they print money, exactly. That's why there's inflation happening. That's US. I don't know. I wouldn't want to live there at this point. I'm not even very patriotic about Canada at this point, because Trudeau has just destroyed this country. Like you come here, the rent is like through the roof. The prices are like, I mean, when I used to buy groceries for myself, I would literally $200 for me. It would be like over the top for myself. Right now, if I want to eat alone, I need at least $500 on the exactly same things that I bought a few years back. I'm paying $300 more. So I don't know. Like I'm not. I don't. when people think, life in the West is so much better, is not necessarily. Not necessarily. Depends on what you do with your life, I guess. With all respects to those countries. Passport King. Hi, Passport King. Now I see you. I see you. I see you. Yeah, the girls' trip, even girls' night out without the husband is major red flag. Exactly. Last night I went out. Yeah, like I said, I went out with my man and my friend, and I don't want to go out by myself because me and my friend were dancing, and my man, he likes to dance in front of the DJ because he likes to talk to DJs. And I don't like to dance in there because it's not enough space for me. I like to move around. I need a lot of space. So I was dancing with my friend further away, just away from the crowd. I had guys coming up to me, and I'm like, no, no, thanks. I don't know. I don't talk to me. Thank you. I'm good. Thank you very much. They gave me compliments. I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you. But I'm here with my man. Don't bother. I'll take a compliment. Say I'll appreciate it. I'll say thank you, and then that's it. So plus he could see me. I just don't like that thing. Like I can't do this. Like just like sardine. Yeah, I one time I went out without him, and we were fighting, and I enjoyed it because when I go to clubs, I do not socialize with, I don't talk to people. I just dance. That's the only reason why I like to go to clubbing from time to time, is to go dancing, and that's the only thing I do. And I pretend I don't even speak English, so it's a good thing that I speak another language, so that I can just pretend that I don't speak English. Anyway, okay, let's see. Yeah, and then the girls trip, I don't know, I couldn't do it. No, I couldn't do it. No, I wouldn't want to go to like a strange country I've never been to, and I want my protector next to me. I don't know. I don't know people there. You know, can never be too careful. Plus, I like to walk next to my man. He's hot. Sheesh. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. Yeah, okay, so then Max, many want to, but it is so cold. You mean like Canada? Uh, and a big part of US. It is cold here, like in Calgary. Not, but the thing about Calgary here, we get Chinooks. So even in the winter time, it might even be like plus 20. So, but then again, it gets to minus 47. So pretty cold here. Okay. Let's see. So, I'm not afraid of a woman being financially independent, even possibly making more money. Yeah. See, Passport King, Ukrainian man cannot handle if a woman makes more money than him. He most likely is gonna be very resentful. No, he's gonna be resentful. It's just he's gonna feel like he's a simp. I've seen couples that way, and the man felt like he was emasculated because she was making more money, even though he knew, like from the beginning, she was making more money. And I guess it the fragile ego, and then they went and they cheated on their wives because they didn't feel like they were men enough. That's another thing about Ukrainian men. They feel like that they I don't know, they won't always feel like they're very strong, they're protective, they're providers. God forbid you pay for anything. um but uh, I don't know. But that's the thing, like they can't handle if a woman makes more money, and what's wrong with that? Should you be happy? It's one household, who cares? But that's the thing, like Ukrainian women, if they even make more money, they usually don't rub it in their husband's face, like, okay, it was my choice to go and get an education, and now that I have it, I'm making more money. It's good for us. Like, I don't understand why is this such a big deal for people in general. Like, one spouse makes more money than the other. Isn't it all towards your future, towards your life together? Like, I don't understand. To me, even like with my man last night, because we need cash to get in, right? We didn't have tickets, and it turned out to be $33 a person, and so I had some cash, so I bought some cash. and I gave it to him so he can buy drinks for us and stuff. And he didn't even want to spend my money. He spent his, and I'm like, why? Because we came home and he gave me the cash back, and I'm like, what? Spend a little bit, but I'm like, why? No, why didn't you spend? He's like, it's okay, don't worry about it. I like to pay for stuff, and I felt like, why? But that's okay. Like you always pay for everything. So, anywho, like I said, I don't like. I If I was rich, I would spoil my boyfriend like there's no tomorrow. Like there's no tomorrow. So listen, there are women like me out there that they cook, they clean, they can dance, they're athletic, and more have talents and kind and sweet and wanting to be loved and want to love. So I mean, for example, Norway, most of the year, actually, the vast majority of the year, you need to on warm clothes. Yeah, well, listen, then I live in Canada, when it gets cold, it gets really cold because it's super like the climate is super dry, and you really don't want to be here in the winter time. It's and the thing is, it's not steady. It's not like, okay, well, we got snow and let's just keep the snow for the next 4 months and just be cold. No, it's like this: -40 plus 10 within 2 days or a day. Even a day, Chinook comes, it's hot. I remember even I slept in the backyard a couple of times in February because it was plus 25, 22 degrees. So, anyway, let's see. It is not ever a place that I want to live in. Okay. In Norway? I probably wouldn't mind. Norway's beautiful. Sweden, Norway, all these places. Okay, and the winter time it gets surely worse. Yeah, well, I mean, if you like skiing, I know a lot of Ukrainians love to ski. Denmark. I live in Norway. Not that cold. T-shirt and jeans most of the year. What? Stop it. Maybe I should move there. Because I'm honestly I'm kind of getting tired of Canada and what's happening here. You could be among the minority. Okay. Hmm. I'm not challenging. Jenny, I'm not challenging you. Challenge accepted. Just messing with you, man. Just messing with you. I want to be realistic, putting my feet on the ground. Listen, you know what? I'm very realistic here too. I have nothing to hide or lie to you about. I tell you exactly how I feel, and like I said before, if somebody gets offended or hurt their feelings, well, suck it up, you know. And anyway, not at all. I'm somewhere in the middle. Quality of living is public services is overall good. Could be better with lower taxes, though. Yeah, well, I agree with you. We have carbon tax here, and they trying to introduce another tax in Ontario, like rain tax. Like anyway, in Trudeau, we hate him here. Anyway, then next, ladies are attracted to Western men. Could money be the main motive? But but are all Western men rich? I'm talking about looks. I've said that before. I can't stress it enough. Slavic men are not good looking. Okay, well, not to me. Like I just don't find them good looking. There's maybe like 5 good looking Slavic men I've seen in my life, if that. Okay, so I'm no. It's Western men. I don't know. Just got something about, I don't know, better looking. Okay, just better looking. That's it. Again, because first of all, the West is so mixed. Okay, you guys are just so mixed that in Ukraine it's kind of like most men look the same. The same goes for Russian. You can just tell them they when they're 13 they look like they're 30, and they just kind of keep looking like they're 30, like 30 until they're 30, and then they look 50, and it's just, I don't know, just not my cup of tea. Okay, I just okay, let's see. What the whole, okay, no, okay, so China is on the verge of financial collapse. Their financial figures are greatly exaggerated by the government, and with Trump president of US, again, China is terrified. Ah, you know what? I'm glad Trump is in power, back to power. Zhenya, do you think many Ukrainian ladies have lowered their dating standards because of the war? Yeah, well, I guess I. Yeah, probably. Well, I mean, if you don't have like, first of all, it was men were scarce even before the war started, right? It was more women than men. So that's why Ukrainian men felt so comfortable with cheating and lying and all this kind of stuff. And it was even back in the day, and then the internet happened, and then finally Ukrainian women started a little bit. Okay, well, why am I stuck here? Like, if I can just maybe meet somebody somewhere else and have a happy life, like nobody wants to be abused. And abuse comes in all forms and sizes. It doesn't matter. Like, there could be passive aggressive abuse that will drive you freaking nuts, you know. Um, so I mean, yeah, I would say if there are no men out there and women feel lonely. And I mean, I understand women feel lonely and men feel lonely, and maybe I don't think they lowered the standards when it comes to personality, character, intelligence. No, that will never. That they will always stick to that. But looks, yes, because, well, first of all, we don't didn't even have much to pick and choose from in Ukraine. Like I said, I personally, and I know a lot of Ukrainian women, they do not find Slavic men attractive. Okay, and so yeah, I listen. Okay, let's put it that way. Let's say you're an artist, right? You made the painting or sculpture, whatever, piece of art, and you want to sell it. And let's say you think it's worth 5,000, right? And it just sits and sits on the shelf and sits on the shelf. A year goes by, 2 years go by. Nobody wants to buy it because it's overpriced, right? And you start realizing, well, the heck, I mean, I want to sell it. I want to make money. The same thing goes to, it's like, yeah, of course. If you think about it, everybody wants the best for themselves, right? Everybody, I think. So for so of course you're aiming for the best, but then once you realize, it's like, well, slim pickings, but I still want to have a good relationship. I still want to love and be loved, right? Because in the end, everybody wants to be loved. Everybody. And the people that say they don't want to be loved, they're lying to themselves and everybody else, because everybody wants somebody to have in their life, to love and be loved. Some people maybe want somebody to abuse, and there's some narcissists out there that they just get off on having somebody being in a relationship where they just constantly abuse the person. It gets them off. So yeah, anyway. Oh, hey, Pat. Hi, Pat. Hello. Okay, most men will not feel comfortable if the lady makes more money than him. Exactly. That's the thing, but that's the masculinity that comes out in men. And I totally, like, if I was a man and I'm dating this beautiful young woman, whatever, we get serious, and if she makes just a couple of grand more, I probably wouldn't even bother. But if she makes a substantial bigger amount than me, I would probably have. Well, I wouldn't feel like 100% man, I guess. But I don't know. I'm not a man. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really tell you I'm not a man. I never felt like a man. I don't identify as nothing. I'm a woman, so I only can tell you how I feel about my life because I'll never be a man. I mean, I probably could, but do I want to? Hell no. Anyway, happy Saturday, Zhenya. Hi, and here you are, late. Why you guys coming so late every time? I was just about to finish my podcast. There you go. It's been an hour, and you guys always come late. Should a man tell his lady how much he makes? No. Why? Why? I've been with my man for over a year. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not gonna ask him. Why? Listen, we have very deep and very open conversations, but that's something that is really none of my business. And even when if we get married or when we get married, it's like I don't want, like I said, I do not care about that. As long I know he's a provider, I know he wants to take care of me, he protects me. So I don't need to know how much he's making because I am happy with him, and it's not the money, and it's not nothing but him, just him. I love him for him. I love him for his personality. He's funny. He's smart. He's generous. He's protective. Those are the qualities that I've always looked for in a man. Just like I said, it was my grandparents that they were my role models on everything, not just the love life, everything, the way they lived their lives. They were decent, good people, loving, caring, and caring about others, not just themselves. My grandma, there was this one gypsy lady, and she had a huge tumor on her head, like huge, and she was dying, and then they would go and ring the doorbells asking for maybe food or maybe a little bit of help, and my grandma saw her, and then she saw her little son. She invited them into the home, fed them, and the lady explained to her that's cancer and she's dying. And my grandma was taking care of that little boy for many years. As he would come, he would rake the leaves and stuff, help out around, like just cleaning out the yard and stuff like this. And she would feed him, give him money, buy him clothes and stuff like this and that's the person that I want to be, and I am. Well, haven't been helping any gypsy kids because it's not Ukraine, you don't have homeless kids running around here. And if they do, they have shelters that back home is still not the same. Anyway, point being is that it's how you are raised, honestly. Because if I was only watching my parents and how their love life, probably hate I would probably hate everyone because there was no love, I didn't see any love. So it was really good that I'm forever grateful for my grandparents for showing me how to live life the right way. So, I feel a little emotional. Okay, so soon I will have a vacation. Good for you, Dad. Good for you. Женя, it depends on what level of more money Ukrainian or Slavic ladies than the men. If both of them on more than six-figure income and emotionally available, if the ladies don't mind. I did not understand. What was that? Anyway, let's move on. Let's see. Okay, a few thousand more than me. Oh, okay. Okay. Men more than six-figure income will not the issue for Slavic and Ukrainian ladies as long as the men emotionally available. Again, listen, and everybody, and you guys, men that have a lot of money, they have expectations like not not like regular dude. They have some serious expectations. They have some serious issues too. Like, I'm not saying all, but they have very high expectations as well. They're not gonna be like, well, I know of couples that in the prenup it says if you gain a pound, you 1 pound, if you gain 1 pound a year, that your allowance is getting cut, blah blah blah. You cheat, you're out the door with nothing. It's always conditions. That's why like I said, money is good. Of course, it pays the bills, yes, but really, it's in a lot of ways, it's bad news. It's a curse too, because when you're rich, really, and how do you really know who really loves you? Because there are some people that put a mask on, and you can't even tell until it's too late. So I don't know. Okay, let's see then. Some few days ago, I saw a Ukrainian lady. She was very, very pretty. Yeah, well, one thing, Ukrainian ladies are beautiful, and Russian ladies, like Slavic women, actually, yes, they're most. Western men are not rich. 85 men in middle class. Well, 85 in middle class. Western men, no, this is no. You think there's 85% of middle class in the West? Dear, are you serious? Oh my God, you guys, you all need a lesson in economics. And no, this middle class, not 85%. You kidding me? Middle class is probably like, I would say 40%, if that, if that. Maybe I would say more to like close to 30%. That's the middle class. Middle class is very little, and if they get taxed more. And in US is either like poor or super rich, kind of like in Ukraine too. It's not middle class is it's very little in the West here. Anyway, I'm asking because I recently saw a dating tour video on the internet. Well, I don't really know about that video because I haven't seen it. Then I don't know. It was in Ukraine. Okay, I don't know if you wanna. I don't know if you can send it to me. I'd like to watch it. Okay, there are many ladies in the. Uh, were many ladies? Oh, ladies in the event. Okay, okay. Mm-hmm. I watched a single show here in the West. All the women showed up and no men showed up. Not even one. Women sitting there like, what happened? And nobody wants to date you with your expectations. But anyway, but yes, if a Slavic or Ukrainian ladies on more than six-figure income and the men earn less than six-figure, including not emotionally available, they will not encourage as well. Okay, well, one thing I'll tell you, my stepmother, she makes, I don't even know, but way more than my dad, at least. I want to say five, six times more than him. She's way in her six figures. She's been in her six figures a long time ago. And my dad, uh, he still made good money, like average, like he was making pretty good money for engineer. But my stepmom, way, 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 way more. And believe me, she emasculated the crap out of him. My dad has no. Yeah, I always, because I remember him when he was with my mom. He was such an alpha man. He was a tennis player, a coach, athlete, tall, handsome. He was when he was young. He was okay, looking, but yeah, very tall. He was 6'1". Uh, Worked out all of his life. He's still his body's like in his late 30s, and he's pushing 70s. Not a joke. Six pack, everything, because he works out. But anyway, okay. I heard. Okay, let's see. I had a doubt that maybe many ladies are quite desperate to get out of and move to a prosperous country. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yes, of course. Yeah, well, yes. Wouldn't you want to get out of, if you were in a shitty country where you're being mistreated and the husband an alcoholic? Well, okay, in your case, your wife is an alcoholic and she beats you and stuff. Wouldn't you want to upgrade? Wouldn't you want to get the hell out of that country where is mistreatment and wars going on? Would you not want to get out of there? I mean, I know I would. I didn't even want to live there before that, but then once I moved here, I didn't want it to go back. So go figure. It was not an easy move for me. I tell you one thing, it was not that easy for me. But okay, I read that one, and then are you in UK or London? Isn't London in UK? Well, there's not London in well, London, Ontario, I guess. Yeah, sure. Everyone wants to the best for themselves. Well, I want the best for myself. I want the best for my family. I want the best from my friends, and I want the best for everyone. Me personally, I want everybody to be happy and loved and cared for and have fun in life. That's how I live my life. I just want to be kind to people. And but not everybody's kind like me. That's right, Jenny. In terms of financial, everyone should work on financial stability when entering marriage. Financial stability nowadays help the marriage to sustain as long as it will manage. Well, that's the thing. I think, like I said, if a man has the means and he wants his wife to stay home and stay with kids, and they have a very good relationship, healthy, loving, and it's okay because cleaning, cooking, day on day in and out, it's not 8-hour job. It's an all day freaking job. Even like I live alone, and it's always cleaning here, cleaning that. You need to do the dishes, you need to do cooking. I cook and I wash the dishes, I clean as I go. It's constant. You have to take care of the house, you have to do laundry, dusting, this, that. And if you have kids, it's another. It's a full-time freaking job. So if you expect your wife to be a mother, a wife, to be even intimate with you, because I cannot see myself if my man, if I we got married and I had this baby, and he was like, no, you can't stay home, you gotta go work, you gotta come back, you gotta take care of the baby. I'd be like, what? No, no, it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Okay. But again, those are my boundaries, those are my expectations, and I'm not gonna break my boundaries for no matter what. Okay. So, and I respect his, and that's fine. And this is why you need to have a conversation. And it's like I said, nowadays, no matter where you are, really, unless you're filthy rich, you need two income household. Okay. So I mean, the prices are going up everywhere, and it doesn't look like it's gonna go down. And with the AI these days, they're gonna be taking lots of jobs out there. So I don't know. So yeah, it's preferably to have two income. Okay, men that feel insecure about how much a woman makes versus them to have poor self-image. They need to understand a man is more than a paycheck or salary or net worth. Yes, yes, passport king. I think so, because I always say, take the money out of the equation, right? What do you have? Like, if you don't have anything else other than just the money and the looks, you really have nothing. You're just a pathetic excuse for a human being. If the woman is just chasing the money and he's just chasing the looks, because both can vanish within seconds. Do you not understand? You get in a car accident, you're fucked. Your face is messed up. You can't walk. You could have been a model prior to that, but then you can't walk. You're disfigured. And if you were a bitch prior to that, if you were stuck up entitled bitch, who's gonna want you then when your looks are gone? Same thing. It goes but with men that have a lot of money and then showing off, and then one bad investment, poof, gone. What? And then if you were a jerk because you had all this money and you were treating everybody like, oh, that they were below you, and now you're broke. Who the hell's gonna want to be your friend? Like, who's gonna want to bang you? And like, who's gonna want to be with you? So to me, it's always the most important thing is for my partner was always for him to be a kind person, to be loving, to be caring. And it's not just towards me, but towards everybody, you know, who deserves it, okay? And but not give away your energy to pieces of crap that don't. Anyway, you guys, I gotta go because yes, I'm always doing the overtime, and I want to stay because you guys always come late, and I wanna respond to all your comments, but I can't because I have to go. Anyway, you guys, okay, well, let's see in terms of, okay, let's see. Men, okay, okay, men feel insecure how much one makes. Oh, yeah, I already read that. Okay, married couple can openly discuss their financial. Listen, you don't have to be married to be able to discuss hard, like, have hard conversations. And financial conversations are not easy ones, let's put it that way, but it's something that you need to do in order to have a healthy relationship. And you have to talk about everything. Like, I did not understand what it would be like to be with someone who loves me for me, who doesn't judge me, whom I can talk to and just tell him everything. And I have, and I feel so alive. You know, I feel like I'm reborn because he just accepts me the way I am, and I accept him the way he is, and we have nothing but love for each other and respect. And again, we argue also. It's not, I mean, nobody's perfect. You think, no, we argue. Sheesh. But the makeup sex is worth it. Anyway, I won't marry a lady without a prenup being signed. Good. I'm so totally with you, especially if you have lots of money. Even if you have a little bit, just, you know, and if she loves you, she shouldn't have any problem signing a prenup. If my man asked me to sign a prenup, no problem, because I love him. So this is totally wrong. I don't know what is wrong. Okay. Many people in the West are really struggling. Yeah, well, struggling with mental issues, that's for sure. Then so look for that. We don't need to know that. Okay. Anyway, you guys, okay, I gotta go. Okay, because I do. Because there's somebody always sitting here overseeing me, so I cannot keep them waiting. But you guys, thank you so much for being here with me. You're so nice, you know. You always, my regulars coming here, and to all the new guys, thank you so much for checking out this channel. Please subscribe, you know. Hope to see you again on next Saturday, and then come see Irina tomorrow at the same time. And I will probably join her as well. I like to troll you guys when I'm off the clock. Okay, you guys, let me play the video, and okay, and then I'll say another goodbye.
This channel is designed to help you with this colossal decision that you are entertaining, looking at, which is, hey, I know you're done with dating in the West. Let's not even go there. Old story. But the question you're asking yourself is, are pastures possibly greener elsewhere on this beautiful planet of ours? Yes, the answer is yes. How do I know? I was in your very shoes, you know, just a number of years ago. Now I'm happily married to my soulmate, my best friend, and we have 2 beautiful daughters, and life couldn't be better. But you gotta play your cards right. As anything in life, there's a few paths to success, and the rest of them are paths to failure. So to join for 30 days and do unlimited video dating for free, all you do is fill out the form in the description below this video, and Bob's your uncle. You can date them, traditional women, for 30 days on video right here, completely free, no obligation, no credit card, no nothing. The other thing that you really want to check out is, if you're wondering, how do women rate you? First, Western women. What's your SMV, your sexual market value score? You know, your score from 1 to 10. How do Slavic women, traditional women, rate you? Is it any different? Here's a tip. Most guys get between a 1 to 3 point bump in their score from Western to Slavic. Why? Because they're traditional values. Now, the caveat here is if you're a serious guy, right? You're looking for love and marriage. If you're looking at playing the field, well, no, your SMV will go down. Then you can calculate your probability of marriage with a Slavic woman. And finally, you can calculate your maximum realistic, keyword, realistic age gap with a Slavic woman. All of those are on my calculator, yoursmv.com. Thanks very much. Please subscribe to the channel, share the videos, and share the love.
All right, you guys. Okay, one more. Okay. Thanks, Zhenya. Maybe troll. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're gonna troll. You're my favorite troll. Okay, you guys. Thank you again. I appreciate that you guys always tune in and listen to me talk. I wish you guys came more on camera and have a one on like face to face. Well, not face to face, face to camera. Anyway, guys, thank you so much again. Have a wonderful Saturday. Have fun, and then please tune in tomorrow at the same time to see Irina and troll me again. Bye, guys.